Hello, welcome to Building with Y. Today we're going to build a Microsoft Word template that we are going to use inside of Power Automate to create a dynamic welcome letter that we can use when a new student enrolls. Let's get started. The first thing that you will need to do is to enable the developer settings. To do this, go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and then click on Developer. Click on the Developer tab, and then we will have the ability to add plain text content controls. Once you're in the developer mode, select Design Mode, select the field that you want to automate, click on Plain Text Controls, click on Properties, and type in the name that you want to recognize this by. Click OK, and now this is going to be available to us in Power Automate. The preschool student list has a relationship to the guardians. It also has a relationship to the class list, and the class list has a relationship to the employee, who is the teacher for that class. Based off of those relationships, we'll be able to get the data that we need easily and quickly from Power Automate. To do this, you could start with when a SharePoint action is created, and you could start with that, and that'd be perfectly acceptable. But I like to start with an instant cloud flow, that way I can control the triggers. As you can see, I retrieved the student record. Now ultimately, we're going to trigger this off of when a SharePoint item is created. So the ID here is going to just flow from the trigger. But for right now, I'm manually entering the trigger, that way I can control which record it is. I don't have to create records repetitively. The next action is get items, and I'm going to look at the preschool employees list and pull the manager out of that list. To do that, I will filter this by position equals manager. Based off of the student record, I can find the class ID, and the class ID will show me who the teacher is. Now we have all that we need in order to fill out our Microsoft Word template. In order to get the manager, we're filtering a SharePoint get items, which means that this is going to be potentially more than one record. But we only want the first record because we know that there's only one manager here. To do that, we're going to use the create an expression, outputs of the manager, the body value. We want the first value, so we're going to say 0. And we know that it's first name. We're going to go ahead and copy that. Space, and then we'll get the second name. We'll just paste that back in, but then change first name to last name. Now we have the managers. When we look at our student record, we'll see that we have our Guardian A ID and our Guardian A value. So we're going to say that space, and look at our guardian A, guardian B value. And that's how we're going to get the first and last name for our guardians. Right. Teacher, I'm going to use the title, which is going to be the Mr. or Ms., and then first name for our teacher. Class record, use title, and then the same thing here with our teacher record. Where's the last name? We're going to use an if statement for our allergies inputs. That way, if the student has allergies, then we can input the correct allergies, and if the student does not have allergies, then we can leave a more generic statement in there about allergies in general. So if equals, we're going to look at our dynamic content for the student, and we're going to find our allergies. And if that equals none, then we're going to use a generic statement. And we're just going to paste this in from what the current template has. But if the student does have allergies, then we want to modify this a little bit. So, importance of attending, and we know which food allergies they have. And we're going to break that and insert the allergy. That's your student. Okay. And then we're going to hit add. And it's going to say, oh wait, this expression has a problem. It doesn't like how I inserted the allergy statement. So I'm going to hit create an expression with Copilot. And Copilot's going to take what I've entered and is going to modify it so that it works. In essence, all that it's really doing is adding a concat, but it's doing it for me so I don't have to think about how to build that out. Click OK. Click Add. Then we are going to save the Word document into OneDrive. And so we're going to create a unique name for this file. In order to do that, we're going to use the student information that we have. So we know that student name, we know that this is a welcome letter. And we know which teacher that this is going to go to. And then we're going to go ahead and throw in a timestamp just to help us keep this unique. And don't forget the .docx. Content of the file will be from the Word template. Then we're going to use the OneDrive convert file to change this file from a Word document into a PDF. Once it's converted into a PDF, then we'll just save the document again. And we're not going to recreate the file name, we'll just take the file name from previous and the file content from previous. And then to make sure that we don't clutter up our OneDrive with files that we no longer care about, we're going to go ahead and delete the Word document that we created. Now, in order to email this out, we're going to need the guardian's email address. we are going to go to the guardians list since we already have the ID for the guardian from the student list. But guardian B may or may not be there since not every student has two guardians. So we're going to insert a condition. We're going to insert a condition that is looking at whether or not guardian B ID is null. Okay, if it is null, then we won't do anything. If guardian B is not null, then we will use the get guardian B action. We will send it to, we're going to switch to advanced mode, guardian A email, semicolon, guardian B email, semicolon, and we're going to go ahead and throw in next step low code labs so that I can see the outputs as well. Now for the subject, we're just going to go back up to the create file step, and we're just going to come in here, copy that, and put that into the subject line. And you can put whatever text that you need into this. This is just something to clearly tell the recipients what it is that they are seeing and why they're getting this email. Then we will go back to our template in order to get our manager. Add an attachment. The attachment name is going to be the PDF name, and the content will be the PDF content. Here we can see that the email was sent with the student's name, welcome letter for the teacher's preschool class B. We have our PDF, parents' names, and you can adjust your templates as necessary so that it doesn't go over pages. Final thing that we're going to do is we're going to delete the manual trigger, and we're going to add a SharePoint trigger. When an item is created. All right, and then the student record, instead of being manually entered, is going to come off of the ID for when an item is created. So there you have it, a relatively straightforward flow that you can create using a Word template to populate your specific information and send out form emails out to your clients. If you're looking at this and saying, man, that looks really simple, I think I can do that, but I want to do something more complicated, and I don't know where to start. Feel free to reach out to me at nextsteplowcodelabs@gmail.com. I'll be happy to set aside some time to help you out. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe. See you next time.